It seems as though many mental illnesses actually have their root in pride. Because if you think about depression, so depression is despair. It's usually despair over a situation that you're in. And it turns the person inward to where they're only focusing on their own pain. So
Yeah.
that's a very pride filled, self focused mental illness. Then we look at anxiety. Anxiety is often an external focus on the situation, but anxiety is about something that hasn't happened yet.
Hmm.
You don't know, so it's in the unknown. So that anxiety is showing that you don't have trust in the Lord because you need to have control over the situation.
Right.
Pride-filled again, addictions, right? You're focusing on your pleasure or releasing yourself from suffering as opposed to using that suffering or whatever you're going through to glorify the Lord.
Hmm.
Eating disorders focused on self-control, self-image, oftentimes to ease suffering. Narcissism and histrionic personality disorders, inordinate focus on the self or being
Hmm.
admired, right? So this isn't to say that these people aren't suffering, because there is suffering here, but to look at that it is pride filled because it's the focus is on the self. And I think if we also had a different view of suffering, that it wasn't so focused on the self, but we actually gave the suffering back to the Lord, and it was always just pointed back to the Lord instead of turned inward, we'd have a very different view of the world.
Absolutely. I mean, everything that you're talking about, St. Thomas Aquinas addressed in the Summa. I mean, he talks about our emotions and our passions, and the fact that when we're in that realm of our human condition and we stay there, we are more likely to bring in all these different vices that cause us to be ill, unstable, diseased, disordered. And it does lead us and can lead us to sin, because when we allow pride in, we are more vulnerable to other vices, right? So it is easy for us to be tempted to commit acts that will cause us to be distant from God.